Elyas now lives quietly in a modest apartment. Once a top member of the French Special Forces, his last mission in Afghanistan ended in disaster when his entire unit was ambushed and killed. Elyas was the sole survivor, carrying deep trauma that forced him to leave the military behind. Back in France, Elyas lives cautiously, keeping his distance from others. Distrust shadows every step, and without a steady job after leaving the service, he struggles to find stability. One night, as he prepares to meet a friend at a bar, Elyas warms up with some push-ups. Before heading out, he places a small piece of tape on his apartment door, a simple way to check if anyone enters while he is away. At the bar, his friend Hector welcomes him warmly. Hector runs a security company and offers Elyas a job protecting the daughter of a wealthy Dubai family vacationing in France. The pay is generous, but Elyas declines and leaves abruptly. When Elyas returns home, he notices the tape on his door has been peeled off. Suspecting an intruder, he arms himself with a knife and enters carefully. To his surprise, he meets the apartment owner, who has come to collect overdue rent. Embarrassed, Elyas promises to pay next month. Soon after, Elyas visits Hector again to discuss the job. Hector explains the details and gives Elyas a special phone to report any problems immediately. Elyas then arrives at the luxury villa where the Dubai family is staying. Inside, Elyas joins a security briefing led by Jamal, a family member overseeing the protection detail. Jamal outlines daily routes, visit schedules, and emergency procedures. During the briefing, Amina, Jamal's sister and Elyas' client, arrives with her daughter Noor. Noor, a striking teenager, rides in on a bicycle but acts as if she does not respect the guard assigned to protect her. Jamal stresses Elyas' main mission, to protect Amina and Noor at all costs. Amina is the sixth wife of a powerful oil tycoon known as the Oil Boss, and Noor is their daughter. After the briefing, Elyas is shown to his dormitory to rest and prepare for the job ahead. About an hour later, Elyas was dressed in the official bodyguard uniform alongside his team. His first assignment was to guard the pool area while Amina swam. Meanwhile, Noor circled the pool on her bicycle, ignoring the planned security routes. Her unpredictable movements forced Elyas to split his focus between watching Amina in the water and tracking Noor's bike. After her swim, Amina asked Elyas to join Noor for lunch. Noor, uncomfortable with the bodyguard's presence, excused herself to feed her dog outside. That afternoon, while Elyas kept watch over Amina, a package arrived at the front gate. Elyas went down to receive it. Taking advantage of the distraction, Noor slipped away on her bicycle, leaving the villa unsupervised. Elyas noticed immediately and gave chase. Before Noor could get far, two men on motorcycles blocked her path, forcing her to stop. Sensing danger, Elyas raised his weapon, suspecting the men meant harm. They stared sharply at Noor, but then left quickly. Elyas caught a glimpse of a diamond tattoo on one man's hand. Without hesitation, he brought Noor back inside, worried she was a target. Later, Jamal gathered Elyas and the guards in the villa courtyard. Noor accused Elyas of encouraging her to ride outside, as if it were his idea. Jamal immediately scolded Elyas for negligence in bringing Noor out of the secure area. Elyas tried to explain that Noor had run off and he was only protecting her, but Jamal refused to listen. He warned Elyas never to take Noor outside again under any circumstances. That night, Elyas found Noor stargazing through her telescope. He urged her to sleep, but she said she hadn't yet captured a good photo of the stars. Noor apologized for the earlier trouble that caused Elyas to be scolded. Elyas shrugged it off as part of the job. Their conversation grew more relaxed as they talked about stars in the night sky. The next day, Amina and Jamal argued. Amina wanted to take Noor out to eat and shop like normal people, but Jamal refused, citing threats outside. Noor sided with her mother, accusing Jamal of treating them like prisoners. After a long debate, Jamal relented but insisted Elyas accompany them at all times. While waiting in the car, Elyas felt a wave of his usual anxiety. He took his medication to calm down. When a fellow guard approached, Elyas instinctively raised his weapon before recognizing him. The guard warned Elyas that colleagues were suspicious after reviewing CCTV footage. The footage showed Noor cycling out, but did not capture the two men on motorcycles who confronted her. Elyas was told not to take his duty lightly and left with a serious warning. During the drive downtown, Noor smiled, enjoying the freedom she longed for beyond her uncle's watch. After shopping, Elyas helped load groceries into the car. Then he spotted two suspicious men nearby, the same ones from the earlier incident. Sensing danger, Elyas quickly got into the car and drove Amina and Noor home. On the way back, Elyas's car stopped at a red light. He noticed a motorcycle pull up beside them and immediately recognized the diamond tattoo on the rider's arm. Feeling the threat, Elyas did not take any chances. When the light turned green, he hit the gas and launched into a high-speed chase through the city streets. During the pursuit, Amina quietly remarked that they had finally been found, her eyes fixed on their pursuers. Elyas skillfully navigated narrow alleys to lose them and safely brought Amina and Noor back to the villa. Once there, he insisted they stay inside their rooms for their own safety. Back at the villa, Elyas questioned Noor about who was after them. She finally revealed the truth. They were not on vacation, but fleeing from her stepfather, a wealthy man known as the oil boss. Noor explained that her mother married the oil boss when Noor was 3. At first, he had been kind to her, but later he tried to force Noor into marrying a much older business partner. Jamal had secretly arranged their escape to France. Elyas realized that the men chasing them were likely agents sent by the oil boss to bring Noor back. Soon after learning this, Elyas confronted Jamal, demanding answers at gunpoint. Suddenly, a sniper's bullet shattered the glass and killed Jamal instantly. It became clear that the oil boss's forces had surrounded the villa from the start, shooting anyone who moved, even servants. Chaos erupted as attackers stormed the villa, igniting a fierce gunfight with the guards defending Amina's family. Amid the battle, Elyas saw Noor's dog bite one of the intruders. Fueled by rage, Elyas fought fiercely, taking down enemies one by one. He pushed toward the upper floor to secure Amina and Noor, who were likely hiding. One attacker found Amina hiding in a closet. Just before he could act, Elyas arrived and incapacitated him. Inside, Amina trembled, begging Elyas to rescue Noor, who had been dragged toward the pool. Elyas quickly secured Amina in the car and then rushed to help Noor. At the pool, Elyas found Noor gagged and nearly abducted. Moving swiftly and silently, he took down the attackers one by one using a stick. After securing Noor, he reunited with Amina, and they fled in another car, leaving the villa behind. During their escape, a black car chased them. Elyas maneuvered through twists and turns, then rammed the pursuer's car, causing it to crash and giving them a chance to get away. Not wanting to be tracked, Elyas drove to a public parking area and destroyed all phones that could trace them. He then took Amina and Noor onto a public bus. Finally, they arrived in a slum neighborhood, seeking refuge at Megan's home, Elyas's foster sister. Their relationship was strained, but Megan reluctantly agreed to shelter them. She even instructed a friend to treat Elyas's wounds with a firm tone. Meanwhile, Amina approached Megan and handed her 2 rare diamonds as a token of thanks for sheltering them. Megan accepted them silently, fully aware of the serious danger Amina and Noor were facing. The next morning, Elyas woke to Megan bursting into his room with a panicked look. She dragged him to the living room, where the news was already on. The report labeled Elyas a fugitive, accusing him of murdering Jamal and his guards, kidnapping Amina and Noor, and stealing their jewelry. Realizing it was a trap, Elyas grew suspicious and even accused Amina and Noor of being involved. Determined to find the real culprit, he decided to confront Hector, the man who had first offered him the job. At Hector's place, Elyas acted quickly, tying him up, convinced of betrayal. However, Hector denied any knowledge and was as shocked as Elyas upon seeing the news. Though hesitant about the report's truth, Hector was convinced by Elyas that he was being framed. Together, they returned to the villa to check the CCTV footage. Upon arriving at the villa, Elyas was stunned. The damage from the gunfight had vanished, as if nothing had happened. They headed straight to the control room to review the footage. The video showed Elyas shooting Jamal's guards and kidnapping Amina and Noor. Elyas denied it, insisting he was protecting them from attackers. Suspecting manipulation, Hector dug deeper into the data and found a small, unedited clip showing Noor's dog biting one of the attackers. Pausing the frame, it became clear the shooter was not Elyas but the man bitten by the dog. Hector urged Elyas to copy the footage. Convinced of Elyas's innocence, they recalled that Durrani had recommended Elyas for the job. Without hesitation, they rushed to Durrani's house. Elyas confronted Durrani, demanding a confession about faking the footage. Surveillance cameras and masked guards inside posed a serious threat. Hector, watching outside, took down the guard before they could attack. Inside, Durrani initially denied everything. Under pressure and threat, he finally confessed to altering the footage, revealing he'd been paid by the oil boss to frame Elyas. Furious, Elyas did not hesitate and executed Durrani on the spot. The next morning, Elyas and Hector met Amina and Nor at Megan's house. Hector asked Amina about their plans, knowing that the oil boss's forces would catch up with them soon. Amina said she wanted to go to England, where her relatives lived, but she was unsure how to get there safely. Hector suggested smuggling them in a shipping container bound for England. That night, Elyas and Hector escorted Amina and Nor to the container's location. On the way, Hector noticed Elyas looked exhausted, so they stopped at a small restaurant to rest and eat. While eating, Elyas spotted a suspicious man entering a van. Without hesitation, he followed and subdued several men inside. Checking one of them, Elyas found dog bite marks. Realizing they were henchmen sent by the oil boss, he urged Hector to keep moving. Later, Elyas rested at a beach and fell asleep in the car. Meanwhile, Amina and Nor enjoyed a rare moment of freedom outside their constant surveillance. They finally reached the container, where Amina and Nor joined other migrants headed for England. Nor grew uneasy and refused to leave Elyas' side. Now a fugitive himself, Elyas reluctantly joined them. After 3 hours, the truck abruptly stopped, triggering panic among those inside. Suddenly, the container door was forced open and armed men fired inside. The oil boss's men had found them. In the chaos, Nor was captured and sedated. Amina was shot dead since the oil boss's true target was Nor, intended to force her into a marriage alliance. Elyas survived by hiding behind a fallen passenger, pretending to be dead until the attackers left, taking Nor and leaving Amina's body behind. Heartbroken, Elyas escaped moments before the container exploded. Elsewhere, men bearing diamond tattoos tortured Hector. They forced him to reveal Amina's and Nor's escape plan. With his last strength, Hector warned that Elyas would seek revenge. They ignored him and executed Hector. Back with Elyas, he found an old military comrade who worked as a pilot. Elyas begged for a flight to Dubai. Owing a debt, the pilot agreed and prepared an emergency flight. Elyas landed above the hotel and parachuted onto the roof. Moving silently, he took out 2 guards and used their ID cards to enter Nor's room. As they tried to escape, alarms blared and armed guards swarmed the corridor. Elyas fought fiercely, shooting and striking guards one by one. He used precise elbow strikes and kicks to knock down anyone who came close. When he ran out of ammo, Elyas seized weapons from enemies and kept firing, holding the line against overwhelming odds. After clearing the floor, Elyas hurriedly carried Nor toward the elevator. However, in the hallway, a large guard blocked their path. The man shot a water pipe panel overhead, releasing a heavy spray that made the floor slick and blurred their vision, making escape even more difficult. A fierce fight erupted. Elyas and the guard exchanged powerful punches, slammed into walls, and fell onto the wet floor. Elyas was soon cornered, enduring a relentless barrage of blows. Seeing this, a frightened Nor grabbed a nearby knife and stabbed the guard in the waist. The guard turned on Nor in pain, but Elyas recovered quickly. He grabbed a fallen pistol and fired the final shot, taking down the guard. After ensuring their safety, Elyas carried Nor into the elevator, ready to escape. Nor then led Elyas to a secret elevator since all the public ones had been shut down. The route passed through the oil boss's private suite. Filled with anger, Elyas wanted to confront him directly. Yet, Nor tearfully begged Elyas not to hurt her stepfather and to focus on getting them out safely. Reluctantly, Elyas agreed. They reached the rooftop, where Elyas used his parachute to escape with Nor. 2 days later, they arrived at a remote Moroccan village where Elyas's aunt lived alone. She welcomed them warmly and agreed to take them in. Elyas decided to settle there with Nor. A month passed since the chaos ended. Nor began a new life attending the local school, enjoying a simple routine far from the restrictions of her past life, surrounded by wealth. One morning before school, Nor uploaded the original villa footage that Elyas and Hector had copied, a recording exposing the oil boss's lies. Now, Nor appeared happier and freer. Elyas, always by her side, treated her like his own daughter. So the moral of the story is, if your dog bites a bad guy, don't delete the footage. It might just save your butt later.